How's it going, guys? We're back for another edition of Movie Review Mondays, and today I wanted to go over and review the 1980 classic John Carpenter's The Fog, starring the great Tom Atkins, Adrienne Barbeau, and a smaller role by Jamie Lee Curtis. I have to say this movie has really cool ghost story vibes to it. Uh, it's taking place in a fictional town called Antonio Bay, which is coincidentally celebrating their centennial of the town being founded. So during this time, what you don't know and what you come to find out later in the movie is that the town was built on murder and greed. It opens up with a priest finding a journal of, I think it's like his grandfather or something like that, one of the founding members of the town, and come to find out that these pirates back then, led by Captain Blake, wanted to set up a leper colony because all of them came down with leprosy, and the town agreed only because they found out they had a lot of gold. So what they ended up doing was they killed the pirates that had leprosy, took their gold, and used that gold to start the town. Which, fast forward to 100 years later, when they're celebrating the centennial, the pirates are coming back. You got ghost pirates. At the beginning of the movie, after the priest finds a diary, then you see Tom Atkins, whose name is Nick Castle. He's driving down the road, picks up a hitchhiker, happens to be Jamie Lee Curtis, and then right after that they end up in bed together because, it's Tom Atkins, right? After that, you see Stevie Wayne, who is played by Adrienne Barbeau. She's a local DJ. She reports the fog coming in, to which at first they don't believe that there's a fog bank coming in, but out of nowhere the fog bank engulfs their ship, and that's where you first get your peek at the ghost pirates. And they slaughter everybody on the ship. Next day, Nick Castle is being hounded by fishermen's wives, who happens to be the mayor of the town, and she's hounding him to go check on her husband who's out at sea, who didn't return home. Now, according to Nick Castle, there's been times before where he doesn't return, that they kind of drink all night and they don't really fish, they're just out there drinking. But this time his wife is really concerned, so he goes off, charters a boat with Jamie Lee Curtis to go find the boat. Cut to Nick and Jamie Lee Curtis's character, whose character name is Elizabeth. They find the ship. From there, they find out that nobody's on the ship. It's almost as if the ship was upside down in the water because it's all torn apart, everything. It's all basically rummaged around, but there's no sign of any of the crew. From there, she discovers a body with no eyes, and one of the fishermen in the boat. Nick goes off and he's talking with one of the coroners while Elizabeth is just chilling there waiting, and then all of a sudden the body that she discovered tries to come at her, and they notice he drew a number on the floor. You kind of don't know what it symbolizes at first, but they explain it later on. Cut to Kathy, the mayor of the town, and also, fun fact, she is played by Janet Leigh, who is Jamie Lee Curtis's mother in real life. So I believe this was the first and only time that they did a movie together. I might be wrong, but as far as I know, this is the first and only time that they've been appeared in a movie together. But anyway, her and her assistant, played by Nancy Loomis, they're trying to get everything situated for the centennial event that's coming up that night. So they're kind of going all over town, kind of trying to run errands and stuff like that. So they go to the church to get the priest to try to get him to do a blessing at the ceremony later that night. You can tell the priest is he's been reading the journal since he discovered it. He starts realizing that the town was built on, again, murder, greed, and stuff like that. And with everything that's starting to happen, they think he's crazy when he's talking about it, but he thinks that he's the first one to realize that all the bad stuff that's starting to happen, it's because of they're coming back for their gold and to take revenge on the town. But then from there, the local weather service calls Stevie Wayne again to let her know that the fog bank's going in. The ghost pirates start killing the local people in town. First one to go is the weather service guy who's talking to Stevie Wayne on the phone. The next person is the babysitter for Stevie Wayne's son. And at that time, she already knows that the fog bank's coming in, so she's already getting on the radio and telling anybody that can and is listening or that can help to go get her son. So Nick hears her radio distress call, so he goes, and right in the nick of time, the ghost pirates take care of the babysitter and they're coming for the kid next. But as they're trying to break through the door to get the kid, Nick shows up, gets him in time. They drive off. Nick and crew, so they're driving through town trying to avoid the fog, listening to Stevie Wayne on the radio say which way the fog is rolling in, make their way up to the old church. At the same time, Kathy and Sandy, they're trying to make their way to the church as well. So they all show up at the church towards the end. As Stevie Wayne is doing her broadcast, her radio station starts getting engulfed with the fog as well. So she starts getting attacked. The fog eventually makes its way up to the church, to where they're trying to board the doors and try to shelter themselves away from the ghost pirates, and it doesn't matter because they still get in. So the priest, knowing why they're there, he grabs a cross that's there in the church made of solid gold, is actually Captain Blake and his pirates' gold. So he eventually sacrifices himself to go out and give the gold back to them. There's a creepy, ominous scene where you see the silhouettes of all the pirates. Beautiful scene. I think it looks absolutely cool. It's really creepy, really awesome. He gives the gold cross back to Captain Blake. There's a huge sort of like light absorption and stuff like that. While that's going on, Nick comes out, pulls the priest back, and all the ghost pirates disappear. So it's literally like right at the last minute, right when the ghost pirates are about to get Stevie Wayne. She's on top of her lighthouse. It's like nothing happened. Fog starts dissipating. Everybody's survived and is okay. Leave the priest, but Captain Blake is not done yet. To which he then turns around and Captain Blake's right behind him and gives him the chop. The end. I can't express how much I really dig this movie. I feel it's a little underrated. Usually when I bring it up, then people are like, oh yeah, that's the Fog, yeah, that's a great movie. I was like, yeah, but I hardly ever hear anybody bring it up when they talk about John Carpenter. I hear more, obviously, Halloween and Escape from New York, Big Trouble in Little China. But I feel this movie, as well as Prince of Darkness, are movies that need to be looked at again. I feel like they need a little bit more love, because I feel like they don't get as much attention as they should. But so that's why I want to kind of do this one, just because I really love this movie. It's a great movie. The score is incredible, really, really creepy and ominous and atmospheric. Like watching this movie, hearing the score, even if you just put it on silent, just listen to the score and watch the movie. I mean, it just adds to that spooky, ghostly vibe to it. If I were to rate it, I would give it. Honestly, I'd probably give it close to 5 horror cats. Easily over 4 horror cats, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's a masterpiece, and I feel like it's right up there with the original Halloween and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little bit under. Maybe 4.5 horror cats. Yeah, maybe 4.5 horror cats. But regardless, guys, it's a movie you definitely need to check out. I had recently reviewed the Stevie Wayne NECA figure. So yeah, as you can see, I saw this getting ready to come out, and I had to pre-order it. When I did pre-order it, I pre-ordered it with the 4K Ultra Steelbook of The Fog from Scream Factory. Haven't opened it yet. I feel like I watch it enough on streaming that at some point I definitely want to open it up and check it out, because from what I've seen, it looks absolutely incredible in 4K. So I can't wait to open this up, check it out. But yeah, this was a part of this set. So if you pre-ordered this with the Steelbook, it came with a poster of this artwork as well. And recently, obviously at Texas Fright Bear, I had mentioned before in one of my pickup videos, I got the Captain Blake retro cloth figure. I'm not too big on these cloth figures or retro cloth figures, but I mean, you don't really see too much of the fog, so I had to pick him up. Also, his eyes light up too. Unfortunately, I won't be doing a review of him just because, yeah, it's clamshell and I don't open. I won't open the clamshell because I can't really get him back into the box. So comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the fog. Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Are you planning to check it out? I definitely recommend it. It's definitely pretty solid and the score is amazing. As for me, it's a toss-up usually between the original Halloween 78 and The Thing. If I had to, it's a toss-up between those two, but if I really think about it, I have to say I love The Thing the most of all of his movies. And not to mention, I did do a review with some of my buddies on The Thing, so eventually at some point you're going to see that review come out. It was an hour-long review, and I've been slowly trying to get it edited together so I can release it. So stay tuned for that for sure, guys. So that is coming down the pipeline. But beyond that, if you're new to the channel, feel free to like, share, subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, thanks again, guys, for coming back and for the continued support. I really appreciate it. I honestly can't thank y'all enough for feedback as well as for watching and stuff like that. So thanks again, guys. You guys rock. Until then, we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy and have a good one.